Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, the first phase of the new Dominica-China Friendship Hospital to be ready by the end of the month. Dominica State College now tuition free, and government to install a new management team upon completion of the new hospital. The details of the news coming up.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. The Roosevelt-Skerritt administration made history on Monday when the Prime Minister announced that tuition fees at the Dominica State College were being discontinued. Effective May 13, 2019, State College students are no longer required to pay tuition fees. Prime Minister Skerritt made the announcement on Monday following a meeting with State College officials. This also means that all outstanding fees owed by State College students are now cancelled.
I had the occasion to write to the President of the Dominica State College to advise him of the decision of the government to discontinue the payment of tuition fees by students attending the State College with effect from May 13, 2019. And also to place a condition on students attending the State College that they must engage themselves in a mandatory volunteerism at the community level as part of inculcating in the minds and the hearts of our students the need for them to play a greater role in community development. And secondly, to also advise the president of the college that all outstanding fees owed by students as of May 13, 2019 would have been cancelled. This we no doubt we hope will assure and ensure students continued access to the college. As you know, with the help of the government of China, we were able to build a modern campus with adequate facilities. Obviously, it was impacted negatively by the hurricane, and we're improving it. But we have taken a decision to discontinue the payment of tuition fees so that our children, again, our young people, will have no more excuses on why they prefer, or some prefer, to be at home or on the blocks and not engaging themselves in taking advantage of the many opportunities that we have extended to them where education and training is concerned.
The Prime Minister wants greater emphasis placed on the certification of skilled workers.
We need more electricians in Dominica. We need more plumbers in Dominica. We need more masons in Dominica, more carpenters in Dominica, more people with more technical skills, but with certification. And that there are a number of tradesmen and women in our country who have the natural skills, who have the learned skills, but they lack certification, and therefore the only marketplace would be Dominica. With this skills certificate, the entire CARICOM would therefore become a marketplace, and they will be able to take their knowledge and their skills to different parts of the Caribbean and further afield. And that the college should make every effort to provide that certification to our existing people with skills and those who would like to hone the skills that we provide opportunities at the State College. Because we do have the facilities, the physical space at the college to make this happen.
He's also advocating the introduction of night programs for those who work during the day but would like to pursue additional qualifications. Government currently spends millions on university education for Dominican students. The Prime Minister also wants students to pursue careers which reflect the job market in Dominica and the region. The first phase of what will be called the Dominica-China Friendship Hospital has been completed. Cabinet and representatives of the local media went on a site visit of the facility on Monday. Prime Minister Skerrit believes when completed, the new hospital will serve not only nationals but possibly the people of the wider region.
This we consider to be a major investment in Dominica, a major investment, a long-awaited investment. Clearly, the existing PMH has outlived its usefulness, and with this new hospital, we have no doubt there will be an improvement in the delivery of healthcare services to Dominica. There will be also an increase in the services which we're offering to our citizens, and very likely to our neighboring islands. So we will very well see ourselves in a situation where we move from our citizens going out to now people coming in to seek medical intervention. There's one service which we will be providing in this new hospital, which is the non-invasive intervention for cancer and all other related illnesses. And I've been advised we may be the second country within the Caribbean region which may have this piece of equipment. I believe it's HIFU equipment. And of course we'll be training, we'll be getting help from the government of China to train the doctors and to train the technicians on the management of this facility.
The Prime Minister says there is a revolution taking place in healthcare in Dominica.
What we would like to see happen in Dominica is a situation where there will not be the frequent need of our citizens having to fly to other countries in the region to seek medical care. But this could not and cannot be done with the existing facility. And this is why we had made the request of the Chinese government to assist us with the construction of the hospital. Because over time, we have trained people in various disciplines within the medical sciences. And also we have purchased additional and new equipment to provide services to our citizens. And so we have seen really a revolution in the healthcare services over the last 20 years, where before 2005 we did not have an intensive care unit facility here. Before 2000 we had one partially functioning dialysis machine. Now we have 9, and with this new facility we'll have 12 beds to provide dialysis treatment to our citizens. And with the MRI that will be coming on board as well within this new hospital, and an increased number of theaters in order for us to be able to treat our citizens, and of course neighboring islands who I'm sure will start coming to Dominica.
The first phase of the Dominica-China Friendship Hospital will be handed over at the end of this month. Government is in the process of implementing measures to facilitate a new system of management of healthcare in Dominica. Prime Minister Skerrit says based on recommendations by the Pan American Health Organization, a team will be put in place to manage the delivery of healthcare services in Dominica. The recommendations are the result of government's request for technical assistance from the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, to review the island's health system.
We will be creating an independent entity. We'll decide what term we call it, but it will be an authority that will be statutory authority with the parliamentary approval to manage the delivery of secondary and tertiary medical services for citizens. And they will not only be managing the China-Dominica Friendship Hospital, but also the new hospital once it is completed in Marigot, the upgrade of the Grand Bay Hospital, and also the upgrade of the Portsmouth Hospital. So they will be responsible for both tertiary and secondary care. And they will have their own budget approved by the Parliament, So we expect there to be an improvement in the delivery of services, because sometimes to wait to get the approval from the ministry for bandage or paracetamol and so on, that can take a very long time because of the bureaucracy. Not blaming anybody, but that's how the bureaucracy works. So that entity will have its own funds.
The Prime Minister says government's policy of providing free medical care to seniors over 60 and those 18 years and younger is not expected to change with the new management of the hospital. Meantime, Dominicans will have to wait a few weeks after the handing over of the first phase of the new hospital before it can be utilized by the public. The authorities will require a period of 40 days to sanitize the building. And Dominica will join the global community in recognizing International Day of Families in this observance's 26-year history. Andrea Louis has more.
International Day of Families is observed on 15th May and was established by the United Nations General Assembly in 1993 to recognize the importance the international community places on families. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Family and Gender Affairs, Helen Royer, says the ministry chose to join in on the international celebration this year as the theme is very meaningful to Dominica's current situation.
And this is based on the fact that we realize that the family is very pivotal to the enhancement and national development. We realize also that post-Maria, there was a demise in the family. We realize that persons are still struggling. And this year's theme, it fits so well with what we would want to do in Dominica. It is actually families and climate action and a focus on Sustainable Development Goal 13, which calls for persons to address the issues of climate change. So I think it is well fitting for us in Dominica.
The International Day of Families provides an opportunity to promote awareness of issues relating to families and to increase knowledge of the social, economic, and demographic processes affecting families. Royer says the ministry continues to help families affected by Hurricane Maria and build resilience in the wider community.
And having been the ministry previously responsible for responding to hazards and disasters, we realize that we have a role to play as a ministry, and hence the reason for ensuring that we observe this day. We have gone further to maybe just observing a day, and we'll be observing an entire month. So we'll start on the 15th of May till we'll end till June 22nd. And the main focus for us as a ministry is that we want to assist families to realize their worth, their importance, the role they can play in national building. And we realize, even with a focus on climate action, that there's much that can be done.
The PS says other departments have been engaged to help reach the larger Dominican public in following through with the theme for International Day of Families 2019.
For the local government department, which falls under our ministry, we are working with communities in building their capacity. And I can tell you, as of, I think, on the 2nd of May, there was some information and public awareness on the role of local government in building community resilience. And again, on the 15th, we will be also having a national climate resilience consultation for councils, and that is all towards ensuring that persons are equipped and they know what it is that is expected.
You're watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after this.
Craft is a certain art that creates expression, and one of the things that we do as craft persons, we transfer that expression of self, that expression of value into our products. It's like coming from within, coming from everything that I have and feel, and then it comes out perfect.
Audio Jungle.
It's been over 18 years since I've been involved in craft, and it's all through experimenting with different materials, different products, I use a lot of vegetable tan leather, which is the rawhide, to do my craft, and I get the opportunity to decorate it and to bring out my creation and my spirit within the craft. The work is generally handmade, and that is a unique and authentic thing about craft, is that there's your fingerprint, and a lot of people appreciate the fingerprint of the artist. One of the greatest joys is actually seeing a satisfied customer, especially for a unique piece, and they're like, yes, that is for me, and that is mine. That is really a joy. I am proud to be part and parcel of this big engine that fuels the island and the tourism industry. My name is Vanessa Lisa Winston, and I am happy that tourism is my business.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You'll expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
A national consultation on developing resilience in councils and an awards ceremony among the highlights of Local Government Month 2019. Local Government Month was established in 1989 and is recognizing its 30th anniversary this year. Activities got underway on 1st May with a church service, and Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Toussaint says a range of activities is on the cards to recognize this milestone.
We believe in giving people their flowers while they are alive. Too often at ceremonies, funeral occasions, you have the eulogy about the many good things about an individual. Unfortunately, the individual is not privy to that information. So we believe in giving people their flowers while they're alive, and so we are going to recognize a number of councillors, long-serving councillors and clerks who have given human service. They've committed to the task of rural and national development, and we're going to recognize those persons for the services that they've offered, the selfless services that they've offered to their various communities, and by extension the country. We will be recognizing them at this award ceremony on the 15th.
Toussaint says Wednesday's award ceremony is one aspect of a two-part program, the first segment being a national consultation on climate resilience for councils.
Essentially, there is a document that has been developed in terms of national climate resilient strategy, Dominica 2030. And so we are going to look at how the councils can relate to that document in building resilience at the community level. So we're expecting to have addresses from the Minister responsibility for disaster management, the Minister for Ecclesiastical Affairs, we're expected to address the function. And we're going to have a number of presentations, one presentation from the CREED, presentation from the Office of Disaster Management. We're also looking at a presentation from the focal point of the Green Climate Fund, because essentially we're looking at all avenues and possibilities where the councils plays an integral role in the whole thrust of resilience at the community level.
Cleanup campaigns and school outreach programs are also on the cards for Local Government Month, which is being held under the theme Strengthening Community Resilience Through Local Government. And the impact of natural disasters on a country's ability to trade. That issue was at the heart of a symposium organized by the World Trade Organization WTO in Geneva. Dominica's Director of Trade, Mathan Walter, represented the Minister for Trade, who could not attend. On the final day of the week-long symposium, Mr. Walter addressed the gathering, which comprised officials of the WTO Secretariat, academia, and the senior government officials from WTO member countries. He spoke of the impact of Hurricane Maria on Dominica's GDP, 226% lost due to the monster storm. Walter also touched on government's efforts to strengthen and modernize the Air and Seaport Authority and improve the readiness of the Customs and Excise Division.
The implementation of an automated process of container tracking through the adoption of IT technologies, as you would have, I assume the study was read. The study outcomes indicated the problems that we suffered in the port immediately after the storm. Conversion and rehabilitation of a 30,000 square feet shed into 2 sheds in an effort to separate individual cargo from business cargo. We established an ultra-fast lanes where high-volume businesses are pre-cleared, redesignation of storage areas based on priorities, speed, and clients, development of additional open-air space for placement of empty containers and vehicles, increased in container fees to dissuade shippers from using the port as a storage area for empty containers, visual designation of cargo by tags, employment of social media reporting, processed container numbers are posted online and clients are able to track via this medium and visit the ports once containers are cleared so you have less congestion on the port, and implementation of a personal contact details database in case of emergency. The port will therefore be able to contact clients to inform them of cargo arrival, thus preventing cargo buildup due to communication and transportation issues. So we really wanted to ensure that if there's another disaster and another natural disaster, because we are getting close to the hurricane season again, that some of the issues as indicated in the study would at least be mitigated. Where Customs and Excise Division is concerned, we developed a disaster preparedness plan together with the port authorities, identification of key personnel from both agencies to spearhead recovery efforts, identification of alternative service locations to store cargo outside of the place of operations. We developed proactive plans for the processing of vehicles, aircrafts, and passengers in conjunction with other government agencies such as the Ministry of Health and the police and immigration authorities. We secured tents and mobile offices for operations in case of emergencies, identification of distribution points in case of natural disaster, ensured all buildings and equipments, ensured adequate supplies of necessities such as food, water, and fuel, ensured that the local area network, the land, is robust to be able to withstand weather stress, and the development of a sound manual system in readiness for possible electrical shortage post-natural disaster, because we did not have that before Hurricane Maria, and when the hurricane came along, there was a lot of backup at the customs, and that was a difficulty that we do not want to deal with.
The Permanent Mission of Australia funded the study of the impact of natural disasters on trade. Dominica is taking steps to better respond to the public health threats posed by climate change. We go back now to Andrea Louis for more.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. David Johnson says the ministry plans to incorporate systems that would provide better information for decision-making in the health system. Johnson was speaking at the opening of a two-day workshop in partnership with the University of Arizona to develop resilience in the health sector.
The Ministry of Health is pleased to be collaborating with the University of Arizona and Tulane University to convene a study to integrate seasonal and sub-seasonal climate information in public health. We're extremely pleased for this partnership. The decision-making tools which will arrive from this are expected to develop from this project are in keeping with the overall national development focus of building the first climate resilient country. You'll hear me repeat this several times. Dominica, and more particularly, the health sector is committed in taking a leading role in building a climate resilient health sector.
Dr. Johnson says before this partnership with the University of Arizona, government had already been taking steps to build resilience in the health sector.
I make reference to August 2014 when a national consultation on the global framework for climate services to identify climate services for health under the work program of the World Meteorological Organization was done. In 2015, we conducted a vulnerability and adaptation assessment for health and climate change with the assistance of Health Canada, the World Meteorological Organization, Climate and Health Office, the PAHO, the Caribbean Institute of Meteorology and Hydrology. They're always with us at our side. It was the Ministry of Environment at that time. All of these agencies provided essential support for that very extensive assessment that we did, vulnerability and adaptation assessment.
According to the CMO, studies show mosquito-borne illnesses will increase as a result of climate change.
Warming is expected to lead to increased health risk from dengue fever, the famous chikungunya outbreak, which happened some years ago, Zika, malaria, gastroenteritis, and leptospirosis. The economically deprived sector of the population, squatters and inner city residents, children and farmers, have been identified as the population most at risk to the impact of climate change.
The two-day workshop was held under the theme, Building Public Health Resilience to Severe Weather in a Changing Climate. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Here are some tips to reduce mosquito presence in and around your home. Keep water storage containers properly covered. Remove containers that can collect water from your surroundings. Keep garbage bins tightly covered. Pick up your litter and remove all tires from your yard. Keep gutters free of leaves and twigs to prevent stagnant water. Prevent Zika, dengue, and chikungunya. Fight the bite. This is a public service announcement from the Dominica Red Cross.
This message is supported by Flow. To end the news, a look again at the headlines. The first phase of the new Dominica-China Friendship Hospital to be ready by the end of the month. Dominica State College now tuition free, and government to install a new management team upon completion of the new hospital. Feel free to contact us at news@mapping2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.